Good afternoon, everyone. I'm John Parker, and from time to time I will put a video on YouTube discussing insurance questions or issues, or maybe some other kind of issue. Today, let's talk about RV insurance, motorhomes, fifth wheels, pop-ups, so on. This industry is really growing over the last several years. They're selling more and more of these every year, and I always recommend to my insureds that they buy a policy specifically tailored for an RV. Some people will try to put them on an auto policy, which sometimes you can, but you're kind of cheating yourself. You're not getting the coverage that you may need. And I'm going to give you just a very few pointers here on why I recommend an RV policy. Number one, your contents in the RV. You know, you're going to put things in here, and if you walk out to your driveway and pick that RV up and shook it, all that stuff that falls out, that is your personal effects or personal property. An RV policy will cover that. It will cover that with no depreciation. It can be replacement cost. You can choose a dollar amount that you want for coverage for your personal effects in there. Now, some people will say, well, my homeowner policy covers that, my personal property. Well, it may, but the problem is, number one, your homeowner policy is probably going to have a higher deductible than what your RV policy does. Most homeowner policies have got $1,000 deductible or more, so you're dealing with that. And the other thing you're dealing with is the fact anytime you can avoid having a claim on your homeowner policy, you want to do it. It's bad business. Stay away from homeowner policy usage as much as you possibly can. The other thing is roadside assistance. Now, auto policies offer roadside assistance, but they are most likely not going to offer to pay for a tow truck that's big enough to tow this. So you want to bear that in mind. Now, you have an auto policy, the personal auto policy, you can get roadside service for a pickup or a sedan, but not something like this. So you want to bear that in mind. Also, roadside assistance on an RV policy a lot of times will not have a mileage limit. It will be worded, maybe it will tow it to the closest repair center without a mention of a mileage limitation. So you always want to remember that. The other thing is, RVs have big windshields. So an auto policy will probably not pay to replace a windshield should you take a stone to an RV. Take a stone to your windshield in your RV and have to replace that. An RV policy will. And there's other things too, but in your policy, sit down with your agent, talk to him or her, and ask them to go over the RV policy with you. They're not that expensive, and you really get a lot more coverage. Oh, and one more thing. Travel expense. This is something your auto policy will never pick up. If you're on a trip in your RV and you're in an accident, it breaks down, what have you, you're stuck in a motel for a few days while your RV is being repaired, you're going to have money out of pocket. You're going to pay for a motel room. You're going to pay for food, things like that. Your RV policy can offer coverage for that, where your auto policy never will. So, again, talk to your agent, ask them about the RV policy and have them go over it with you. It's not expensive, and you get the coverage that you need. Lastly, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to all of our veterans, past, present, and future, male and female. We cannot thank you enough for the certain things you do for this great nation, keeping us free. Thank you so very much. Thank you for watching.